In the land of Agadagan, there was a great king named Lato, known far and wide for his wisdom, wealth, and lineage. King Lato was educated in the finest schools across the kingdom and beyond, learning about governance, warfare, and the arts. His return to Agadagan kingdom was awaited with great anticipation, as the people knew he would bring prosperity and peace to their land. Upon his return, King Lato took up his royal duties with grace and determination. He married 6 beautiful women from noble families across the kingdom, and soon his palace was filled with the laughter of his many sons. However, despite his many blessings, King Lato longed for a daughter to complete his family. One day, while visiting a neighboring kingdom, King Lato met a young woman named Ehes. She was not of royal blood, but her beauty and kindness captured the king's heart. Despite her fragile health, Queen Ehes's spirit was strong, and she soon became the king's favorite wife. King Lato's love for Queen Ehes was deep and unwavering. The king married Ehes in grand style. He threw a lavish party that was like no other all over the kingdom. He often said that if he had met her before his other wives, he would have married her alone. However, Queen Ehes was very sickly. Whenever she was ill, the king would be very sad, and the fear of losing her tormented the king, because he loved Queen Ehes so much. After a few years of marriage, Queen Ehes became pregnant. As Queen Ehes's pregnancy progressed, King Lato's joy knew no bounds. He organized a grand feast to announce the news to the kingdom, hoping for a daughter to finally grace his life. However, Queen Ehes's health continued to deteriorate, casting a shadow over the celebration. Tragically, Queen Ehes passed away during childbirth, leaving behind a grieving king and a newborn daughter, Princess Ibidun, named after the king's revered grandmother. The day of Queen Ehes's burial was a most painful and sad day for the king and his kingdom. All the chiefs surrounded her coffin to mourn their dear queen. She had come and gone so swiftly, like a candle in the wind. The day of Princess Ibidun's birth became a bittersweet memory for King Lato, as he welcomed the daughter he had always longed for but mourned the loss of his beloved queen. Despite his grief, King Lato embraced his role as a father with all his heart. He doted on Princess Ibidun, cherishing every moment with her and ensuring she wanted for nothing. His love for his daughter was so profound that it stirred jealousy among his other wives, who felt neglected in comparison. King Lato raised Princess Ibidun with the same values of wisdom and compassion that he governed his kingdom with, instilling in her a deep sense of duty and honor. Princess Ibidun grew up to be as strong and graceful as her namesake. She was so beautiful, and often it was said that when describing beauty, Princess Ibidun was the standard. She brought joy and light back into the king's life. The king gave her her maids-in-waiting to cater to her every need. As Princess Ibidun grew, she blossomed into a remarkable young woman, admired for her wisdom, grace, and beauty. Her brothers cherished her, and the people of the kingdom looked up to her, knowing the special place she held in King Lato's heart. The palace was filled with beautiful paintings of Princess Ibidun and her brothers. Under her influence, the kingdom flourished, and peace reigned throughout the land. However, not everyone shared in the admiration for Princess Ibidun. King Lato's third wife, Queen Edigi, harbored envy and resentment towards Princess Ibidun. She had once been the king's favored bride before Queen Ehes, and now, with Queen Ehes gone, Princess Ibidun's presence only served as a reminder of what she had lost. Determined to regain the king's attention, Edigi plotted with the elders and some of the king's chiefs to enforce a tradition of circumcision on Princess Ibidun, a practice that had long been abandoned in the kingdom. The plot gained traction, fueled by jealousy and spite, threatening to disrupt the harmony that Princess Ibidun had brought to the kingdom. Despite the danger she faced, Princess Ibidun remained steadfast and resolute, drawing strength from the love of her family and the support of the people. She knew that she had a duty to uphold the legacy of her mother and the values of her father, and she was prepared to face whatever challenges came her way. Under Queen Edigi's influence, the chiefs raised the matter of the circumcision tradition at one of their meetings, citing the fear of promiscuity and the need to uphold the sanctity of the matriarchal lineage. They claimed that performing the ritual on Princess Ibidun would avert curses from the ancestors and ensure the well-being of the kingdom. Unknown to King Lato, Queen Edigi had begun poisoning the villagers' food, leading to numerous deaths. The chiefs, manipulated by Queen Edigi's machinations, pressured the king to call upon the village shaman to perform the ritual on Princess Ibidun. Despite his grief and reluctance, King Lato was swayed by the seemingly logical arguments and the fear of ancestral curses, but on the other hand King Lato was educated and knew this was an outdated ideology, and his love for Princess Ibidun made this a very tough decision. Meanwhile, Princess Ibidun, sensing the danger she was in, sought counsel from the village elders. With their guidance, she devised a plan to expose Queen Edigi's treachery and save herself from the impending ritual. She knew that she had to act swiftly and decisively to protect herself. As the day of the ritual approached, tensions in the kingdom reached a boiling point. The villagers were divided, with some believing in the necessity of the tradition, while others saw it as a ploy by Queen Edigi to eliminate Princess Ibidun. With the weight of the impending ritual and the pressure from his advisors bearing down on him, King Lato sought a solution to save Princess Ibidun from the tradition. He decided to seek the counsel of the wise king of Ehes village, known for his sound judgment and wisdom. The king of Ehes advised King Lato to find a suitor who would marry Princess Ibidun without the need for circumcision. If such a suitor could be found, the ritual would be overturned, and Princess Ibidun would be spared. King Lato was relieved to receive this advice, and immediately announced to his kingdom that he would search for a suitor who would accept Princess Ibidun as she was. Word of the king's decree spread far and wide, but no suitor came for Princess Ibidun's hand in marriage. Nevertheless, King Lato was determined to find a suitor who truly valued Princess Ibidun for who she was, not just for her beauty or status. As time passed and no suitor came forward to marry Princess Ibidun, King Lato's sadness deepened. The fear instilled by the recent deaths in the kingdom had taken hold, and nobody was willing to take the risk of marrying the princess and potentially facing the same fate. Meanwhile, Queen Edigi's frustration grew as her plan to eliminate Princess Ibidun stalled. Determined to see her plan through, she intensified her efforts and conspired with the shaman to kill Princess Ibidun during the circumcision ritual. The king knew time was running out and he could not stall anymore, and so he turned to Queen Edigi to seek her advice. The queen advised the king to go ahead as the ancestors were clearly displaying their displeasure with the happenings in the village. She assured him Princess Ibidun would be all the better for it and all would be well. She spoke to him with respect, but behind her voice was the slithering hiss of a serpent's tongue. Princess Ibidun and her chief maid worried. They looked distressed about what was going on. Princess Ibidun sat in her royal chair praying a miracle would happen. On the day of the ritual, as Princess Ibidun was brought before the shaman, a sense of unease hung in the air. The shaman, under Queen Edigi's influence, prepared to carry out the deadly deed. He performed all the rites and beckoned to the princess. However, just as he was about to strike, a commotion erupted among the crowd as Queen Edigi's son approached. Tired of his mother's intrigues, he shouted for the shaman to stop, and he began to tell the town chiefs and the villagers of his mother's plot, and how he overheard her talking with some of the chiefs to bring this tradition back. He also told everyone of her schemes, and how she had got poison from the neighboring town, and this was the cause for the sudden deaths in the land. He also confessed that it was his mother Queen Edigi who used to put poison in Queen Ehes's food, and this was the reason she was always sick. Everyone stared in shock. The king, who had refused to attend the ritual, was however informed about this, and he became very angry as he stormed to the town square and ordered that Queen Edigi be apprehended by the palace soldiers. Shocked and enraged, King Lato ordered Queen Egidi's immediate arrest, and she was banished from the kingdom for her crimes. She was never to step foot into his kingdom ever again, but he spared her son and rewarded him for his bravery. He ordered the shaman to be beheaded and rushed to free his beloved daughter. With Queen Egidi's plot thwarted, Princess Ibidun was finally safe from harm. The kingdom rejoiced, and King Lato vowed to ensure that such treachery would never again threaten his family or his people. King Ehes' son finally arrived and rushed to Abolishing to see the king. When he arrived, he was told what had happened, and he was relieved to hear Princess Ibidun was safe. No woman was ever to be forced to perform the circumcision rites ever again in the land. Princess Ibidun, grateful for her father's protection, continued to be a beacon of hope and strength for the kingdom, with her wisdom and grace shining brighter than ever before. The tradition was abolished all through Abolishing land, and this could never be reversed. No woman was ever to be forced to perform the circumcision rites ever again in the land. Princess Ibidun found love in the hands of the great king of Ehes' son. His father had told him about the plot, and he vowed to marry Princess Ibidun on his return from his Western education overseas. Their marriage united two kingdoms, and the kings became the best of friends. A lavish introduction was held at the palace, and the formal traditional ceremony was conducted by the village priest, who was a Christian. All her friends came to celebrate with her from far and wide. Everyone rejoiced with her, and several other brides fixed their wedding date on the day Princess Ibidun got married, and the town was full of celebration as brides from all over the kingdom rejoiced with their husbands. Princess Ibidun became queen of Ehes' kingdom, and King Lato was delighted at the love his daughter received from both kingdoms and beyond. Her brothers advised her on the need to be a humble queen and to respect her husband, the next king. Her bridesmaids supported her and helped to make her day monumental. On Ibidun's wedding day, all her brothers and their friends dressed up lavishly to celebrate their beloved, adorable, and gorgeous sister. Brides all over the land with their friends and families celebrated the historic event in the great land of Abolishing. Brides and grooms surrounded the palace with their friends and family. Laughter was heard all over the land. The princess looked forward to her new role as queen and a wife to the great king of Ehes' son. Everyone, especially her brothers, rejoiced at her marriage ceremony. Princess Ibidun changed her outfit several times on the special day, because the great King Lato celebrated her marriage with pomp and pageantry over all the kingdom. This tale is told till this day, and the practice of mutilating women has been greatly reduced in many lands. It was indeed a joy to behold. The king of Abolishing celebrated, and all the kingdoms were better because of his reign.